Welcome to EPG Pathshala. In the paper Web Application Development using PHP, last session I have covered about HTML form and cascading style sheet. In today's session I am going to deliver a lecture on installing WAMP and PHP Basics. WAMP is acronym for Windows, Apache, MySQL and PHP. That means to run your PHP script you require web server. So the web server we are using is Apache. So in WAMP, W stands for operating system. So here Windows is a operating system. The machine in which I run this is installed with Windows 10 operating system. Apache is a web server, MySQL is a database and PHP is a server side language. So WAMP is a one of the popular tool to create web applications using PHP. To install WAMP, as it is freely available, you can download it from the website. I will just show you how you can work with that. To download that, you just require to use www.wampserver.com, and there are various options available according to your operating system, as well as how many bit operating system you have, 32, 64, etc. You can download that server. When you look at that screen, wampserver.com/en for English, right now I will use WAMP server 64-bit, which includes PHP 5.5. So to use that, you require to install it. When you click onto it, it will open your server asking you for that which server you like, and WAMP server 2.5, it's include Apache 2.4.9, MySQL 5.6, PHP 5.5 for 62-bit. To set up, it will ask to agreement. So though it is freely available, as per licensing you require to accept that agreements. Then it will be asking for setup, and at the time of setup it will also shows that which version you are installing for Apache, MySQL, PHP MyAdmin, SQL Buddy and Xdebug, that all can be used. As you click on next button, it will be asking that which location you would like to install it. By default there is a C drive and WAMP folder. In that case, in my PC I use H drive and it will be create WAMP folder. As you click next, then it will be also asking for additional tasks, that whether you are agree to create a quick launch icon and desktop icon. I choose both of them because it will be very helpful to me when I want to start WAMP server. Then it will be asking that your destination is this and ready to install. As you click on install button, it will be installed, and during installation it will be also choose your default browser. By default browser may be Internet Explorer, but I want Firefox, so I have to choose it, and that can be available from your C drive, and you can find it out programs files. There is a Mozilla Firefox, and in Firefox you can choose this Firefox exe file. So Firefox will become your default browser when you run PHP script. And at last it will be also asking that SMTP server and email address used by PHP mail function. If you are not sure or right now you don't want to use, you can put it as it is the value default value and click on next. And finally it will be say that your setup is completed and would you like to launch it now or not. If you would like to launch it, you can click finish, or you can uncheck that launch WAMP server now and finish, so it is installed, and whenever you require you can use it. Now how to check it whether it is installed or not? So you can see that once it is installed, you can go to your Windows operating system. Of course you can install for Linux as well, but as I am using Windows, I demonstrate for Windows. So you can click onto it. So it will be asking, do you want to allow? I say yes. And as this is working, look at here, it will show that icon WAMP server. And to know whether it is working or not, click on localhost. So that will be open your WAMP server. And there are, if you click on PHP info tools, so it will be show that which version or what things you are installed. That means the WAMP is installed on my PC. You can close it by exit only, right click to that and exit, or other option is that you can first make stop all services and then exit. So your WAMP server is closed now. So this is about WAMP server. Now WAMP server we have installed, but to write our coding you can use any editor. Notepad is used, but it is though you have to remember syntax and everything. So Notepad++ is also a freely available editor. The benefit of Notepad++ is it provides color coding for syntax. So our task will become bit easier when we type code. You can download Notepad++ from notepad++org, and here again you can choose any available installation and you can install it. Once it is installed, you can see it will be look like this type of icon here, and if you open it, it will open your Notepad file, a Notepad++. So I will use it when we write code for that one. Then let's move to our PHP. So PHP is a open source project, you can say. Open source allows facility to use it, modify it as well as redistribute it, and it is freely available. Generally people are misunderstood about open source and freely available, but here the open source main philosophy is that you can freely download it, use it, modify it and redistribute it. PHP is a short form of hypertext preprocessor. Earlier it was also known as personal home page, but then nowadays it is known as a hypertext preprocessor. Though it is a task of a team, but Rasmus Lodorf is considered as a father of PHP. He is the one of the main person who developed PHP, and there are many versions available for PHP, but right now I am using PHP 5.5 available, which supports object oriented programming as well as some other features compared to their previous versions. Now why PHP is very popular? So let me discuss some of these features of PHP. The first one, as I said, is open source, so you can easily download and it is free of cost. Then it is portable, means PHP can install on many operating systems, whether it is a Windows, Linux, Mac, etc. PHP support many databases. You can use MySQL, Oracle, Postgre, IBM DB2, etc. PHP also works with ODBC driver, and using ODBC driver it can also support MS SQL server as well. So you can use any database with PHP. Performance wise PHP is also very good. One testing benchmark has been done by Gen Technology, and here it will be says that the testing of PHP is very good as compared to any proprietary RDBMS software. Now the learning curve is very easy, that means PHP is easy to learn. The syntax is very similar to C language or Java language, you can say, and as I said, it support object oriented programming, and it is an open source, so there are many support and documentation available by either forum as well as PHP's its own site php.net, where you can get help from all this. So these all are features and it makes PHP very popular. Now let me say some of these basics about PHP. So in PHP is a server-side scripting language, and it is interpreted language. So there are tag used. In HTML we write predefined tag. In PHP you have to write everything within tag. So there are 4 types of tag style. First one is XML, in which you write tag $PHP, and to close that $, and that again angle bracket. This is the by default style and I will use it. Other is short style, you require just $, to open and again $, to close it. You can also write like a script style, language is equal to PHP and anything, and you can use ASP style also. You can make these changes from your WAMP server, but I strongly recommend it, please do not make any changes in your php.ini file. This is available for your WAMP server. Let me start WAMP server, so I can give idea that where you can make these changes if you like, but I strongly recommend it that you should not use it until you know it. Look at here, the color is changing from red to orange and then green, and now if you click onto it, so you can see there is a php.ini file which has all the settings, that which tag style you are using, what you would like to use. You can use any of this one from, or changes from this one. But I should repeat it, I strongly recommended that please do not make any changes until you are sure about that will be not affected your PHP anything settings. Then you can PHP statements is end with semicolon, and you can use white space when writing PHP code. White space includes spaces, tab, carriage return, etc., and multiple, even you can provide white space, so that will be also ignored. In PHP you can also write comments. Comments can be single line or multiple line. Multiple line comments is also line as a block comments. It is very similar to C language. 2 times slash is for single line comment, slash asterisk, and asterisk and slash for multi-line comment. And PHP is case sensitive. That means if you define anything in PHP or you have to write code, the syntax you have to follow. That means it is not like HTML where case is not important. So when you write code, you have to remember the data types supported on PHP are integer, double, string, boolean, array, and object. Integer data type is a data type which stores the whole number. It can range up to -2147483648 plus that value. Double is allow you to store floating point number value or decimal number value and give more precision. String is used to store string value. Boolean value allows to store values like true and false. Array and object is a special data type that we discuss later as we move further for PHP. These are the few examples that I written for data type examples. This is for integer, you can write +15 -21. For double you can provide floating value as well as exponential form 3.5e. For string you can use either single quote or double quote, so you can write any string within the single quote or double quote. Boolean is true. Now how to define variable in PHP? So to define variable in PHP you have to use $sign and then variable name. The variable name can take alphabets, digit, and underscore, but the first character must not be digit or a 2 underscore. And any reserved keyword you cannot use for PHP variable. Special character is not allowed to declare variable. And PHP is a dynamic type language. It is also known as a weak type language. Dynamic type language means you don't need to define the data type for variable. You declare variable, assign value into it, so the variable will become data type according to the value assigned to it. So you don't bother about the data type. So this is dynamic type language. These are examples of variable. You can write, like say for example $count is at 10, so here count is integer type, $price 25 is 25, so it is another variable. This is one string value you assign to first name, in last name, is valid true, etc. Now let me write our first program in PHP. So I just open Notepad++. Now Notepad++ has many things, but we have to start PHP code, opening the tag and write PHP and end it. It is always good idea to first save as, file, save as. Let me create one folder. On to work that file, I have to store into WAMP folder, in WAMP www folder, and I will create new directory. Let me create new directory name EPG, and inside EPG let me create new folder. I give this name ABC of PHP, and into that I save this file as a let's say hello.php, because this is my first program and I would like to say hello world.php, so I save as a hello.php. Click on save button, or I can select here from PHP because Notepad++ supports many languages, so I save this one. That I can change through that my settings and preferences. So I prefer for PHP that when I want to type, the font should become larger. You can do many things with that style configuration. because in style configuration support settings for each language is given. So I choose for default is this, string is this, or question mark is 24 point. Default we haven't specified. If you want to specify, you can also specify it. So what font size it will be, right? 7 close. And now let me define. So there is a one statement called echo. Echo statement is used to print anything onto browser. So you can type echo hello world and semicolon. Save this one. Now to run this file, I move to the again localhost my WAMP server. Now there isn't the file because I created one folder EPG. So I either have to type /EPG and in PG ABC of PHP and then hello.php. So it will show hello world. Now you don't require each time to type this. So you can add alias into your WAMP server. So for that, again open your WAMP server. Then there is a one option available, Apache and alias directories. So you can create alias for your directories. So I check alias directories and click add an alias. So it will asking the name of alias. Give one example also, test also. So here I write the alias is EPG for EPG Pathshala. Now it will be asking the complete path. So I know the complete path is on H drive, WAMP, WW and EPG. So I just need to copy this path and provide here. I will just paste it, edit, paste, enter. So now alias is created, press enter to exit. So now if you look at the here, so EPG is available here because my alias is created, and here I can run this program. Of course here if you want to print, you can use within double quote h1 hello world and /h1. So I save this one, execute this one, so it will be displayed like this. And again remember that browser understand only HTML, no PHP. So this is our first PHP code that will work that way. Now suppose you want that users enter something and you want to display it. So to provide that graphical user interface, you need to create HTML file and then you use PHP code also. So let's write code for that one. Let's say for example, let me create one HTML file. So I write HTML and /HTML. Let me save this file as a file, save as, I consider as a hello user.html. Right, so look at here, the color code is blue. Now inside HTML, let me provide body tag. After body, I provide form. Action is equal to, let me write, say display.php or disp.php, and method is equal to get, and close the form tag. Now let me write enter your name, and let me provide one text box. So we know that I have to type input type is equal to text, name is equal to, let's say, user, and I have to provide button to make that coding work. So I write input type is equal to submit, name is equal to submit, and value is submit. Other button I require is reset. Input type is equal to reset, name is equal to reset, and value is reset. So my GUI is clear. I save this one as a hello user.html. We can look at about this one, how it will be look like. I just refresh my page. hello user dot. So look at here how it will be look. Now I have to type my PHP code. So let me create one PHP file, and the file name I should give as a, for display here I write dasp.php, because I write in form action is equal to this. So I create one PHP file here, opening and closing tag, and save this one as a file, save as disp.php. I have to compulsory provide that name. Now to get the value I enter in input. Here I use attribute name is equal to user. So I have to define one variable. Let's say $user is assigned to. Here the method I write as a get. So I have to write $_get. $_get is a super global variables. Super global variables are a variable which are available to everywhere when you want to use. PHP supports many super global variables. This includes globals, $_server, $_get, $_post, $_cookie. You can see the list all of this one here, and it is always available to PHP code for a page. So here I use the super global variable $_get, and the name attribute I provide for my text box is user. So I have to write is within single quote user, and now I type echo h1 hello $user. That's it. I save this one file. Now just refresh this one. Let me enter, say my name is Hiren, and submit. So it will say hello Hiren. If I move back and type some another name, let's say for example Dhaval, and enter submit, so it say hello Dhaval. Now look at here, when I type any value into it, say for example if I type here Manish and submit, so look at the URL. I just make the view larger, that at the address bar it will display display.php question mark user is equal to Manish and submit is submit. So in address bar you can get that value. The reason is that question mark, that means the what parameter you pass in that file, it is URL encoding, and here you provide value is Manish, and when you click on submit button its value we provide submit. So this is due to we are using method in our HTML pages get. So when you use get method, that will be appear at your address bar, URL address bar. Now if I change it to post, then it is not visible there. Let me save this one. So I make this one is a post, and now if I run this, right, okay, I have to refresh or reload the file, not open file. I have to go back and refresh this one. So let me use hello user. Now if I type Akhil and submit, so it will be say undefined index. The reason is that the method I defined post, then I have to use the super global variable $_post, right. Now it will work. I go back, refresh this and submit. So look at here, hello Akhil, but at the address bar it will not show anything. So when you should use get and when you should use post. So the general logic says that when you want to retrieve data from server you can use get, but when you send data to the server you should use post, or any sensitive information. In short, you write something to database, you should use post. When you retrieve, you should use get method. Of course there is another super global variable, so you don't bother about get and post, though there is a post method. Now if I write here $_request and save this one, then it will also work. I just refresh that page again and let me type say Bhavin, submit. So it will display hello Bhavin, though method is post. Though I method change to get for hello user, method is get, and here I only write $request, though I don't need to change anything. I just refresh the page and now I write. So though there is a get method, $request works for get or post, but though it is not much used as like get and post, because these are the two methods, $get super global variable and $post super global variable. These are actually array which stores all this value, is very much used everywhere, and some functions also support that get and post so that's why they are using very much. So this is all about our first PHP program. Let's summarize about today's session. So first we consider that to use PHP you have to install some web server and database as well as PHP. So I use here WAMP server, which stands for Windows, Apache, MySQL and PHP. To install WAMP you can just type WAMP server and you can get www.wamp server, and from there you can get particular version, download and install it. For to write our PHP code we use editor Notepad++, which is also freely available. So I download it. Then to start WAMP server you need to start WAMP server, and when it is start it will be green like that, and to stop it you can stop all its services and then the color will become red, you can exit from it. Then we consider that about PHP stands for hypertext preprocessor. It is a dynamic type language. You can declare variable in PHP with $sign, dollar and variable name. Variable name can include alphabets, digit and underscore. Any special character is not allowed in variable name. Variable name must not start with double underscore and digit, and PHP reserve keyword is not used for variable. And we write one simple program which will display to username, as well as you can get some value from user, etc. I hope you enjoy that. In the next lecture we will consider about PHP control statements.